Yo, what's good? What's good? Give me 1 sec. Let me set up my screen real quick. I was just looking at some big old fucking drops. 1 second. I'll show you guys here in a second. 1 sec. There it is. Alright, 1 sec. I'm just amazed with I was looking at how much Bitcoin dropped. It's just crazy. Alright, give me 1 sec. I'm almost got it. Alright, guys. Welcome to another market mentorship overview. Appreciate you guys being here today. I'm just gonna review Bitcoin real quick. We didn't quite get to that level that we anticipated, and Bitcoin's been dropping pretty fucking hard. Now, in terms of like bias, long term, I'm still going to continue to invest into Bitcoin. But short term, I'm not going to continue to be so aggressive, I guess, or with such high leverage. I'm just going to gradually continue to buy below the lows. If we do get below this previous monthly low, awesome. That's probably somewhere where I'd look, somewhere down here as well in this previous area of accumulation, and maybe we even take out this low, right? But for me, I really want to see how this candle closure goes on the monthly. So for this month, maybe hold off. I'll be holding off, just waiting for September price action to really clear up anything, right? But for the most part, I haven't sold anything. I'm keeping everything just as is. Honestly, I'm not looking for any short-term capital gains. Yeah, I'm not looking for any short-term capital gains tax. I just leave it as is, So we'll see what Bitcoin ends up doing. We'll revisit Bitcoin quite a bit, so just keep that in mind. Okay, Ethereum. I've been telling my 6-month program for a while to invest into Ethereum, and just recently I went in and bought a little bit more Ethereum. I'm a little bit heavier on, but it's still like I would love to see this trend line get clapped before I invest again on a heavier quantity. Okay, so that's really what I'm looking at in terms of crypto. We'll leave it as is for now. I want to see some lower prices, especially Bitcoin. I want to see some lower prices. I heard somebody say that they wanted to see it under 10K. I saved that tweet because I wanted to see if, he said 10K by 2024. Hey, I saved it just to see, I want to see who's credible, who's not. I want to see who to follow, who not to follow. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin, keep an eye on Ethereum together, and then the total crypto market caps. It's like the DXY for cryptos. Anyways, let's go ahead and start this. Cool. So as on a monthly perspective, I was looking at these highs. Obviously, on our way up there, I'm going to be aiming for previous monthly highs. There's a substantial amount of the month left, so I do believe that if we get a rejection, we may even come back to the same level and reject here a couple of times. So I won't be surprised if we really just play around in this area. This is that weekly order block that I was mentioning. Yeah, this was the weekly order block that I was mentioning on the Monday call and Tuesday call, if you guys were on it. And you can see here, price action is kind of stabbing into that. Actually, let me leave that on for the daily. You can see how price action stabbed into that the first time, rejected, comes into it 1, 2, 3 more times, and then just continues to reject to the downside. So really curious what ends up happening here. I want to show you guys something here as a daily objective. Okay, as a daily objective, I've personally have been looking at the Asian low, and I won't be surprised if we just go to this low. But Asian low overall, and then this low first. Okay? But really, like, what happens after we take out this first low is going to determine what the XY ends up doing. Because you still have an insufficiency here. You have a triple bottom. So we'll see what happens in this zone for DXY. We could just dab down there and continue going to the upside. Or from here, since we got this distribution, minor distribution going, again, targeting that Asian low. Okay? So for DXY, I'd like to see some more lower price action. But for the week overall, guys, we've had some incredible week. Okay, so right here, you guys can see we went long into our weekly objective. And by the way, guys, if you are who is setting their weekly objectives and daily objectives and revisiting them with me, I want to see. Maybe drop some threes in the chat. I want to see who's consistently been showing up, journaling their day, weekly biases, and is learning from them, right? Because I'm doing this with you guys, but I would love if you guys were doing it yourselves at your own pace. Give me one sec. Awesome. That's great. That's what I love to see, to be honest. I love to see that. Okay, want to see you guys apply these concepts, apply yourselves to these concepts. It's honestly super easy, super simple what we do. Okay, so on a daily perspective, okay, if we cut to Monday or Tuesday, let's cut to Tuesday. Okay, this is Monday's price action right there. Okay, on Monday morning, we were talking about going into this order block, and and I mentioned that I wanted to see this imbalance potentially get played with to move higher. If we were to move lower, this is where I see price action go to its lowest point, and then if we were to move higher, this is my objective. And so Tuesday really just comes in, immediately rebalances price, doesn't leave a chance for an imbalance. Then price action pushes up higher on Wednesday, and then Thursday we finally get this sweep of the highs, right? And it's a beautiful price action delivery right there. We've seen all week just bullish delivery. Okay, so maybe we get a slight rejection today. Okay, it could be a possibility. We can see some slight rejection today, but I just know that overall we are bullish. Okay, and we can continue to the upside from here. Okay, but for me, we're not gonna go long from here. If we do go long, it's from this area, so a little bit lower. Price action's just been beautiful this week. Longs at the end of the day. Longs and some more longs. But a lot of back and forth. Notice, like, since we opened, check this out. We shorted London, long New York, shorted afternoon session. Shorted London, then long New York. Short for London, long for New York. Short for London, long for New York, short for the end of the day. Long for London. So we'll see. We'll see if the pattern continues and we push to the downside today. I always get the urge to do these like massive stretches while I'm here on the call with you guys. I don't know why. Those stretches where your soul just leaves your body for a little bit. So good. Okay. All right. So beautiful long price action this week. So if overall we'd have a long bias for the dollar and daily long biases for the dollar, then of course we'd be looking for some shorting opportunities on indices. Now the indices shorted and fell off the freaking planet. NASDAQ this morning, if nobody saw it, I just want you guys to know that this right here, this type of fucking movement right there, oh my gosh, super clean. Okay, super clean. But we're gonna go into the indices since Monday. Okay, Monday was a interesting day. Okay, notice NASDAQ. Monday, what do we do on Monday on NASDAQ? We sweep previous weekly low. Okay, notice that. That's the low of Friday, and it just happens to be the low of that week. So Friday, we come into it. We start the week right off on Sunday, sweeping previous weekly low. Okay, and then completely taking out this previous daily high here and here. Okay, so two previous daily highs into this previous area of distribution. Super clean. Okay, and that previous area of distribution is strong, and I like it because it's swept previous higher time frame liquidity. So super valid area of distribution. Looking at price action to come into it, sweep liquidity, and distribute. We came into it, we took that liquidity, and we did distribute during Asian session through London and New York. Okay, we continued to distribute to the downside. Okay, so NASDAQ here on Tuesday, here it is. This is, to me, like, these are some beautiful shorts, and I'll show you guys here in a second as to why. But I want to bring your guys' attention to Tuesday. Okay, want to bring your attention to Tuesday. NASDAQ takes out that high, comes into a previous area of distribution, and begins to distribute. Okay, now NASDAQ has this imbalance here. Boom, you guys can kind of see that bearish imbalance going into that bearish imbalance too. Okay, that is a clean imbalance and overlap overall. Okay, it's an overlap. Okay, but not just that. You guys see that in clear imbalance, and then you can also see that insufficiency. Now, let's leave the inverted imbalances for a bit, okay? And let's just focus on that front one, leaving everything else off the table right now. Okay, and just focusing on that first one. You guys can see over here on Tuesday, we had that same run of liquidity. NASDAQ takes the liquidity and goes into the imbalance. S&P doesn't. That is smart money divergence there. Okay, that's what I call smart money divergence. And when you guys identify smart money divergence, that's why if you guys do trade the indices, I highly encourage you to trade all be open to analyzing all three. You don't have to trade all three, but be open to analyzing all three, because if we pull up Dow, let's pull up Dow on the left and just leave S&P there. Dow also went into that imbalance and took that high, right? Similar to NASDAQ, right? So if you, for my people that just look at NASDAQ and just look at NASDAQ and Dow because, they move the most, here's your invitation or your indicator to start analyzing S&P. You may not trade S&P, but this divergence, okay, can become a crucial part of your trading to support or keep you away from a poor setup, okay? So nice invitation for all my on my NAS and Dow traders, okay? Nothing wrong with it, just an invitation. Okay, then we move on to here on Wednesday, okay? And we're going to bring up S&P. We're going to actually bring up Dow this time, okay? We're going to bring up Dow here. Dow here. Let's see, right there. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so here you guys can see that NASDAQ during London creates a higher high. Okay. And so does Dow, creates this higher high. But then if you look at the lows, okay, the low of, this one right here. Okay. The low of 2 a.m. and the low of 2 a.m. here. Actually, no, this wasn't the day. Apologies. 1 second. On Dow, we ended up moving to the downside here below previous daily low. On NASDAQ, we ended up moving here below previous daily low. Now, accumulations below previous daily lows would have worked out on Dow, would have worked out on NASDAQ temporarily on Dow. And it's a beautiful way to set yourself up. But on this bearish encounter, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is identify the highs, right? When you're looking at bearish divergence, you want to focus on the highs. Okay, you want to focus on the highs. And you can see here clearly that Dow moved higher and NASDAQ had this bearish divergence where it just respected the previous high and then boom, dropped. Dow, on the other hand, swept that previous high, ran the stops, and then dumped. Okay, now which one do you pick? Can you guys drop in the chat? If I'm looking at bearish divergence, which one do you pick and why? Zach says Dow. Which one do you guys pick and why? If you guys were shorting one of these, okay? NAS, okay. Liquidity was swept on Dow, NAS. Okay. NAS, all right, perfect. thank you for your guys' reply. All right. So what? So Nas did drop way harder, right? So if we had a sphere that we could look into the future, right, and see which one drops harder, you can clearly identify that. Obviously, Nasdaq drops way harder. Okay. But for me, I am a liquidity trader. Okay. So in terms of liquidity, I have to see more intraday liquidity taken. Now Nasdaq did take Asian highs, which does suffice. Okay. We don't need anything beyond that. But Dow goes a little bit more overboard with a liquidity sweep, takes out previous London session high, right? Look at Nasdaq, London session still intact, Dow London session taken. Okay, so takes out London session, and so Dow to me is the one where I'd be shorting, right? So the way that you identify these things is, have you guys drop some fives in the chat if you've ever shown up to the charts and you've thought the following: oh, Nas is going long and it's going ahead of Dow, is the head of the three, right? Or is moving way ahead of the other two, right? If you've ever thought that, or if you drop some fives, if you saw the indices and they've gone in opposing directions, one's going straight up, the other one's going straight down, or not moving at all. Have you guys ever encountered that? Drop some fives on the chat. One's not really moving at all, if so even dropping maybe a little bit, and the other one's just fucking skyrocketing hard. Okay, all right. The one that's that's more volatile, okay, is usually running for liquidity. Okay, and a lot of people would second guess or be like, man, it's just, I'm confused. Are we bullish or are we bearish? And they would be like, at this point, they would be like, man, I don't know, because Dow, we could short off on Dow, but we could also be shorting off on Nasdaq. I mean, we could go long on Dow, but short off on Nasdaq. So I'm probably just gonna stay out for the day, right? And a lot of people get thrown off by this, or they'll just short Nas and they won't even consider Dow. Okay, a good way to get over this is one, have your higher time frame objectives. Okay, knowing that price action is trending to the downside. If we're extremely bearish on the indices and then extremely bullish on the dollar, what you would like to see is the highs getting played with. Now, just because what people immediately think as soon as they see something skyrocket is that it's bullish. And what I'm here to tell you guys, the reason they do that, do not get afraid from retracements or pullbacks. They are an invitation for you to position yourself at a way higher price. Okay? No more are we going to be afraid of retracements. We are going to view them as an opportunity to position yourself or ourselves in a better price. Okay? So, Dow, actually, we'll just stop both of these. Okay, we'll see how they both ended up playing out. Dow, Nasdaq. You guys can see Dow shorts off super, super hard that day. Let's see if it gives out any opportunity after we review Nas. Let's see if Dow gives any opportunity. Okay, Nasdaq clearly gives a clean opportunity here. I believe it was, yeah. Yeah, this is where it was. An imbalance here, nice insufficiency to the previous daily low and previous weekly lows. Or initial low of the week, initial low of the week. Okay. And it was just an amazing, amazing short. And now if it's remember what I told you guys, if it's a big imbalance and you're too afraid to take it from that imbalance, you can minimize, okay? You can take the risk of potentially missing the trade and minimize your risk by putting your stop loss. By putting your entry at the 50% mark of the imbalance. Now, there's been plenty of times when price action will just tap the opening of an imbalance and just run. So you run the risks of that happening. Okay. And yeah, NASDAQ just boom. Beautiful, right? Just wonderful price action. And then Dow, on the other hand, that day, let's go kind of look at them side to side again. This time, actually, NASDAQ will stay on the right. Okay, and then you guys can see here. Dow, hold on. There it is. Okay, you guys can see here. Here is the imbalance again. Okay, imbalance on Dow. The same imbalance on NASDAQ. Now let's delete everything else. Same imbalance. Look at my crosshair. It's in the same time. 11:30, 11:30. And it appears on both sides. Okay, when I hover over one side at the time, my crosshair will be out there at the same time. Same imbalance. Dow fails to take it. NASDAQ takes it. So NASDAQ comes into this intraday liquidity, but doesn't sweep that session liquidity. Dow does sweep the session liquidity, and therefore does not need to come into that imbalance. It's already on the run, right? And so you guys, again, divergence is not just higher time frames. Like, you guys can identify these on any time frame. All right. And it's just as easy as identifying like things that you're already identifying. What you guys just saw me do is nothing that you guys don't already do. You guys always look at imbalances after we sweep liquidity or after we break a structure. We look at insufficiencies for a point of interest or for potential evidence to continue price. And so there's nothing really different that I'm doing here. All I'm doing is identifying price action and putting an imbalance there, and then seeing which one of the three hits it. And if all three hit it, then I probably won't play it. But if one of the three don't hit it, then that to me is divergence. If I see similar highs, similar lows, similar price action on all three indices, like for example today, let's go to today. Okay, today is a great example. Hey, overall, I wanted to see longs on Dow and S&P. Okay, I want to see longs on both of them, but there's divergence, right? But really, I just wanted to see how we close here. This imbalance, okay, S&P will bring all of them. NASDAQ will be in the middle. Okay, I wanted to see how we react out of these areas. And so for me right now, I'm long into that 9 a.m. high. Okay. I'm not in long positions, unfortunately, but that 9 a.m. high gets my attention for these longs to target. Now, afterwards, I would love to see price action not only take the 9 a.m.'s high, but want to see what happens afterwards. Because NASDAQ, I'm bearish on NASDAQ, and I want to see if we distribute on NASDAQ. And I'm also bearish on S&P, and I'd like to see us distribute on that. So what I look for now, then you have Dow. And then Dow was the one that didn't respect that imbalance. Okay? Dow was the one that didn't, well, I guess it respected it a little bit. Yeah. So all three of them respect it. Okay? So now if all three of them respect it, I sit out and wait for a little bit more evidence, because right now there's no evidence of anything. The only evidence that there is that there's no divergence, right? Pretty clean and clear, easy peasy, right? Now, what if Dow takes the 9 a.m. high, S&P or NASDAQ takes the 9 a.m. high, and S&P does not? What do we call that? S&P just comes into the imbalance again and then just keeps dropping. Divergence, right? Exactly. That's what I'm looking for. Stuff like that. Very simple. Things that you are already looking for, but now looking across all three markets. Across all three assets, and doing an inter-market analysis, right? Integrating an inter-market perspective. Being a little bit more detailed with your entries, being a little bit more patient with price action. It allows you to wait for price action to develop. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, price action shorted off beautifully from here on Dow. Let's kind of review this on Dow. Okay, so now Dow takes that high, has a market structure shift, but yeah, I just don't see the entry on Dow. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I would definitely have took this. I just didn't see. I don't think I was trading by this point anymore of the week. I think I was already done. I took a long on NASDAQ, and that was about it. I took a very short-term long on NASDAQ this day. But right here, right before we run the low, that right there, I believe these are the cleanest fucking setups. Check this out. Okay, you got an imbalance, and within this balance, we'll see what happened. The cleanest, bro. I'm telling you, these types of setups are the cleanest. Check this out. Imbalance within that 1 minute break of structure. Boom. There's your entry. The cleanest of setups. Boom. Alright. And you don't, let's say you don't want to get stopped out, or you feel like that stop loss is a little bit too tight. I got you. Hold on. This point for me, putting it at the body of the high of that candle, and no, that's it. And if that scares you, then you put it at the 5 minute high. Now the risk to reward would not have made sense there. Okay, so then that's why if you guys ever feel like my way of putting my stop loss above the imbalances is too tight, for example like this one, if you ever feel like it's too tight, put it at the very high of the 3 candles, or at the very extreme of the 3 candle play and the imbalance. That may not give you the best, that super fucking crazy risk to reward, but it will provide you with consistency. You'll consistently find yourself trusting yourself more. All right. Does Asian high looks as a valid liquidity for the longs for Dow? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're targeting Asian highs. But for me, again, it's like, okay, there we have the Asian highs, right? Oh, shit. We have the Asian highs. Let's mark those out. Okay, Asian high. We have our Asian highs. We're coming into, look at that, 10 a.m., 10:15 comes into a previous area of accumulation, gets this nice imbalance. And then for me, from there, if I'm in any longs from here, the immediate first target is the first objective. Okay, because again, before we get to Asian highs, I need intraday liquidity, and that's the 9 a.m. high. So yeah, if I'm in any of these longs, I'd be targeting that high first, paying myself out, and then targeting the Asian high. London and Asian high. London and London high is over here somewhere. Yes. Yeah, London's high is like right here somewhere. Zach saying, what are your thoughts looking at the 4-hour previous candle, which for intraday liquidity, the 4-hour imbalance for Dow for potential shorts? Yeah, that's the 9 a.m. high. Yeah, that's why I was saying like the 9 a.m. high is my first objective. That's the previous area of distribution, 9 a.m. high. So we'll see what happens up there. I'm not in favors of shorts on Dow. Dow's like the only one that I would not be in favor of shorts. just because, I mean, you guys see how it's running and staying up there. It's not just running for the highs and sweeping liquidity. It's like running for the highs and staying up there. So, yeah, I do believe that it can sweep some liquidity to the upside. And if we do short, it'd be out of that imbalance. And I don't think we'll make it to that Asian high if we short. But if I am looking for shorts, it's within that imbalance, Zach. Yes. If that helps. But just to where we're coming from makes me a little bit hesitant. So me personally, I would just I'm just staying out today. My account, I actually withdrew 2 days ago, and it took forever, the longest it's ever taken. But I mean, honestly, even though I got my account back, I am still not looking for shorts right now. Not yet. Not on Dow. I'm on the long side currently. I'm not in a trade, but I'm favoriting the longs for sure. Okay, Nasdaq took 9 a.m.'s high. And for some fucking reason, that's 6 a.m. 1 second. Am I tripping? I thought the new 4-hour candle. Oh, yeah. Never mind. I was tripping. Sorry. Yeah. And if Nas was to short off, I'd be looking for shorts in current area. Where we're currently at, this is where I'd be looking for shorts if we were to short off for the day. Look, we hit my triple bottom and area of accumulation. Let's see what happens in there. Yeah, if Nasdaq gets a distribution, I would not be opposed to it. It has to be a clean distro though. Can't just be a little 1 minute rainbow looking ass drop. Like, have you guys ever seen like those rainbow looking drops? Like they're just, I think Nas did a couple of them like that. Like I have a hard time seeing stuff like no, it wasn't this. Hold on. This like stuff like this. It just kind of looks like a little rainbow fucking distribution. Like I have a really hard time seeing stuff like that as clean. That price action, like the little rainbow, is just I can't. You know, it's a little arch like that. I don't. If it distributes like that, I don't. Even if it dumps for a fucking week straight, I just wouldn't have been able to take it. Oh, this was S&P. Nasdaq does it a lot here. Like those rainbows. That one. Yeah, I have a really hard time seeing these. That one. Yeah. Who took the Dow longs? Drop some 5s in the chat if you guys took some Dow longs. The Dow was clean for the longs. That was the only one that I would have personally took as well. But notice Nasdaq took the high. S&P hasn't yet. Dow hasn't yet. so hesitant because I just see liquidity. Then just stay out. Simple as that. Why do you have to take a trade today? My question. You know, if you're hesitant, then that probably isn't a trade that you should be a part of. My thoughts. You know, there's no rush. There's definitely going to be many more trades that are crispy fucking clean. Crispy clean. Wait, I'm gonna play the audio. I'm gonna play the audio because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna just play the audio. You guys need to hear this audio. I've been sharing it everywhere, even to my students, but I'm pretty sure some of my students haven't listened to it today. So we're gonna play it on here. Okay, 1 second.
But if you take 2 trades and they both lose, you took one at 10 lots, you lose. You take one at 5 lots. That's half of what you leveraged on your first trade and lost. The next trade, you're taking 5 lots. If you lose on that one, you're done for the day. If you win on that second trade, regardless of what the win is, you're done for the fucking day. You do not trade in the PM session. Done. But Michael, shit! You don't fucking trade again. You won. Leave it there. There's other trading opportunities. Stop fucking thinking that one trade idea, that one particular trading session is the be all end all. That's your fucking career. You're trying to encapsulate your entire fucking lifetime career in that one trading day. The fuck is wrong with you? Stop thinking like that. That's what every neophyte retail losing fucking prick does. I'm telling you because I did that same shit when I was 20 years old. Stop. You have to expand your expectations beyond that right now moment. How is the decision you're about to make right now going to impact your career? Is it going to fucking end you? Are you going to invite the ending of your career in that one trading session, that one trading day? Because that's what you're really fucking doing when you break these rules.
There's ICT. Sorry, it makes me laugh now.
You feel free to do what you really want to do.
1 second.
Don't wait any longer.
That was my audiobook. On Telegram, it just keeps going unless you pause it. So it just started playing my audiobook. But 1 second. There we go. All right. Okay. The comment was in reference to the rainbow. Okay. Either way, bro, it ignited a great conversation. To have a hard time seeing it as clean. What's up, go? I don't know who you're talking to. You might be talking to Zach, actually. What's up? Waiting for this 1v1. Man, bro, I mean, if you're willing not to hide and camp, you know, then for sure, bro, I'll 1v1 you. Tom said genius. Facts. I knew he would fucking get a reaction at it. Yeah, that's how I felt about our last 1v1. I was like, this motherfucker. I don't know if you guys play video games, but if you ever 1v1 somebody, set a time limit, all right? Because the person you're versing might just have a way different way of playing than you do. You know, set a time limit. I had a almost 30-minute 1v1 with Jason, and it was too much. He said, nah, it's a wrap. Hey, Ancho, how are you? I hope all is well. Been watching your recordings, but been a while since I've caught you live. Nice. And Jason, yeah, the campers usually win. Unless you have like multiple people, the campers usually win. Yeah, no doubt about that, brother. Anyways, let's get back to the charts. So there's the liquidity sweep on NASDAQ. Okay, this is exactly what we were talking about. Okay, look. Liquidity 9 a.m. high on NASDAQ. We'll go back to it. 9 a.m. high on Dow. Let's go S&P on the first one. S&P fails to sweep 9 a.m. high. NASDAQ sweeps 9 a.m. high. Dow sweeps 9 a.m. high. I'm bearish. Okay? Just letting you guys know that. I want to see some shorts out of here. Okay, unless, you know, S&P in the next 10 minutes, in the next 10, 20 minutes, sweeps that high in the new hourly candle. Maybe the new hourly candle sweeps that high. But in the next, like, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I'll give S&P time to sweep that high. But for this is exactly what I was talking about. This is the divergence. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. I'm getting called out on the live stream, bro, for a 1v1. This is, man's ridiculous. Could I go over oil? How can I go over oil? Let's see. Look at that. Oh, okay, hold on. I just want to admire this divergence. Okay, that's all. I just want to sit here and with you guys and soak in that diverging markets. Like, that's. Have you guys ever seen divergence so easy? Like, it's that easy. People overcomplicate it, but I feel like it's this easy, and it's always been. I just never really saw it. But let's go over the request. Okay, and then hold on. So in this case, which one would you short? NASDAQ, Dow, or S&P? Pick. NASDAQ, Dow, or S&P? Which one are we shorting? Drop in the chat. NASDAQ, Dow, or S&P? Which one would you guys short? Prefer to short? Given today's talk and lesson, which one would you guys prefer to short? Dow? Interesting. Nas. Okay. Alexis. Cool. S&P. Okay. I know it's because you only trade S&P, but if you were to pick one, Nas. Yeah, I agree. I'd be looking at some Nas shorts. But now let's go dive into some oil. What's the pair for oil? Like, I've never I've never looked at it. I just see Indian. What is that? US oil, crude oil, FXCM, nah, crude oil. Jeez, I haven't. Oh wait, hold on. I want to see when the last time I looked at oil. It was over here. What is that? August of 2022. Almost a year. Oh, a year ago. I was gonna say almost a year ago. It's exactly a year ago. That's so funny. Okay, so, you know, given all the liquidity we're building up, I really like how we swept this low right here. That's really pushing us up there. And so in this previous area of distro, my interests, this right here, like it's the high, right? There's the high right there, but this right here holds the line of bearishness for me currently. Okay, for this time frame, this imbalance, unless we were to close above this imbalance, I'm still looking at some shorts through here. Now, we did trade below previous weekly lows. Maybe that was the weekly objective for this week. So overall, I'll be looking just for more shorting opportunities into these lows. We came above previous daily high just now. Okay, price action is on a counter trend bullishness. So maybe I'd even wait a little bit higher to look for more shorting opportunities to these lows. But overall, I'd like to see a little bit more of a shorting opportunity take place. But yeah, no, that's the weekly candle right there. Weekly low. It's that fat ass wick that we just took out. But so far, I love to see when we hit a level of liquidity, major levels of liquidity, I love to see imbalances respected, liquidity in its place. So imbalance plus liquidity. And then what really confirms the bearishness for me is the imbalance here that we created. And so ideally, if price action got up there, that'd be like the cleanest fucking shorts ever to these lows. Super clean. So clean I would want to add it to my pairs. But I'm not. I already look at too many. I feel like my 3 is already a lot. I barely keep up with those. But yeah, no, super clean. Oh fuck. Yeah, this shit looks clean for these shorts. Yeah, I like it. I've never considered looking at oil. Unless people ask, but for the most part, I don't ever look at it. And it looks cool. It looks really... It looks tradable, if that makes sense. I don't know if that... To a lot of people, that won't make sense, but let me show you guys something that's not tradable. I mean, at least when I was looking at it, it wasn't tradable. These environments like this, if you ever see price action just kind of like doing that to me is not tradable. I mean, you can trade it, but it's, man, you're gonna be hitting break even a lot. I used to trade this all the time, but it's just kind of on the same price until one day file. You know what? I trade every data feed. Every data feed. So we take out those lows and we respect overall on the 15-minute, but not convinced on the shorts yet. I'm not on DXY. I'm still looking at some potential longs. Dow continuing to the upside. NASDAQ just kind of chilling here. Right? We were gonna give SPX 10 minutes after the open. Right? After the new hourly open, which is in 20 seconds. So 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, if this high is still not taken, then I'd be looking for shorts. If this high does get taken, it's just going to continue going higher across the board. And then, you know, whoever was calling out Asian highs is going to get theirs. So that's just how I do it. And simple. It takes patience for sure. It's definitely led me to not trade every day. But this hourly closure, okay, so now let's go to the hourly across all of them. And I want you guys to look at how we respected or disrespected the imbalance. Respected or disrespected the imbalance. S&P respected it. Dow completely disrespected that imbalance, closed above. NASDAQ still respecting that bearish imbalance. So yeah, Dow is pumping, but on NAS and SPX, I feel like they're going to have a harder time. If we are long for the day, awesome, but I think they're going to have a harder time going long. And I'm short overall on indices, so I'm going to continue with that bias on the shorts. And until they present themselves, I'm just not going to trade. see what the hourly looks like this. The 4 hour is about to look like that. This 4 hour on Dow, though, if we respect it, even if we overcame this bullish one, all Dow needs to do is respect that imbalance on the 4 hour. Someone said shorts on NASDAQ and the imbalance, or Dow. Somebody said shorts Dow inside the 4 hour imbalance. I think Zach said it, but probable, yeah. Very, very probable. Let's see. Oh man, some good clean longs, yeah. I see people in longs, I see some people in shorts. You know, I have faith that you guys' take profits are gonna get smacked. I know for sure, for certain, that you guys are over there using proper risk management. You guys are following your plans, and I'm looking forward to our next session on Monday. Okay, remember, Mondays we go live for New York session. This one's just a market overview. It's not meant to give out any signals, any trades, or anything like that. Okay, S&P confirmed that there's no divergence, bearish divergence, so I'm gonna leave that there. And yeah, we're gonna just stay away from these for now. Let them do what they gotta do. Come back Monday, we'll run our live session and we'll revise and see what happened today, right? And see how we can take advantage in the future. So with that, guys, if you guys have any questions, comments, or observations, I'll give you guys like 5-10 minutes. If you guys will have any pairs you want me to look at, break down, let me know. If not, I'm gonna go hop on and 1v1 Jason, apparently. If anybody does, if you guys watch this recording or on the live stream and you guys play Halo, hit me up. All right, link is on the bio. It's on the description. Hit me up. All right, we'll game it up sometimes. But if not, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up right there. I appreciate you guys being on. Thank you guys for coming back week after week, and I see a lot of new faces, older individuals as well coming back. So come, welcome. And guys, if you guys ever need anything, please don't hesitate to hit me up. Okay, the description has the link for you guys to reach me directly. And yeah, man, this was a beautiful morning. I appreciate you guys giving me the time of the day to share this time and space with you. Take care, trade responsibly, and I will talk to you guys on Monday morning for our New York session. Okay, peace.